Okay. Just in case you're wondering, I'm here. I am here reporting for duty. Thank you so much, amazing, incredible you, for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. And I hope the 25th of September 2023 started up on a very strong, very positive and motivational for. It's not one of those just another manic Monday. People who don't like Monday, even if you receive a lot, it will look like debit instead of it because you just don't like Mondays. If you come up with the energy, who totally love Monday, I bet it will look good. Maybe not everything completely, but you carry energy around you. All right, I'm preaching about Monday. Thank you so much for staying with 5.1 Nigeria Info, your passionate body and conversational radio. This is where I officially welcome Hard Facts and my name is Kimberly. Wachiku, call me the Oracle, Digital Oracle, TF the Fellow, Madam Speaker of Nigeria Info. And yes, I am chuckling because I've got Kolawole Johnson, a communication specialist in the studio, who is BVN, ATM.
No.
You don't want it.
I think I'll beg you not add it here.
That's how I put BVN and ATM
no,
together.
Put it here. I think I'll
Anything involving money.
Be careful.
You don't want ATM.
Not down.
I took a short trip around of town, but you ATM suits you perfectly. Being ATM, anything that has to do, money.
Boy, you can be a Kubalawo.
It's okay for me.
The next time, see, don't worry. I'm going to add our values to that title. Don't worry. Okay?
They already recognize that it's a digital oracle, and this oracle has nothing to do with cowries, incantation, or any of those of wine to the ancestors.
You just go back. Maybe you brought some money into your life.
Usually when you go for this kind of, you spend, not bring.
Maybe usually when you just pay school fees, your body good to tell you. Kimo, good to be here.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Roundtable. We'll start off looking at some of the big stories driving conversation. We're also going to talk at the 5 o'clock hour about the national grid frequent collapse that we've seen. What could be responsible? We'll be talking about that with our guests at the 5 o'clock. But for now, with our guest, Kolawole Johnson, we'll look at some of the big stories. One big stories Nigerians are talking about is fire. Government establishment or government agencies or at least big recognized organization. You would think, shouldn't something to prevent a fire outbreak of the gravity of which we've seen, perhaps with this recent one coming in, the Supreme Court, fire broke out this morning. They succeeded in putting out the fire eventually, and there were some damages recorded, some files affected. However, Festus Akali, the public relations officer of the court, has said the incident that occurred on Monday morning has connection with and won't have any effect on the Presidential Election Tribunal. It's reported that the Supreme Court complex situated at the 3-arm zone, Abuja, was engulfed by fire this morning. And speaking on Monday, they said the fire break would not affect anything in the court. And said, as a matter of fact, there's no single connection. It wouldn't affect anything in the court. The incident occurred in November, equipped with a computer equipment, as well as a functional library used by any justice occupying chair. The only thing that was affected were the books and computer equipment in the chair. Even the books are replaceable. Also, it has nothing to do with it because it's an electrical fault, which could happen anywhere. And there are the things that happen daily. But should it be happening? It should not be casualized to the extent as to saying, expect certain things to be put in place to avert it or contain it quickly and swiftly. What do you have to say to this, Kolawole?
Well, Kim, I won't talk about the Nigerian Fire Service, how much investment we have made in that department. If you check their hazard allowance, what was, earmarked for them, maybe 30 years ago, is what they still earn us. I think it's something around, it's maybe less than 100, something like that, So let's not talk about that. So let's focus on kind of get our attention on individual safety measures. How we prioritize safety, whether in government institution or private homes. Let me start from private homes. Many of us, we don't have fire extinguishers in the house. When you build it, it ought to be there. The road safety officials who would nearly, in fact, they penalize if they stop anyone on the road today. Even if you have your driver's license and all of that, you are not likely to have a functioning fire extinguisher. Most times they warn you, but maybe when the car, God, it's something you have, even when it has expired, and full again for you. Now that takes me into the government issue. Remember that government buildings managed by people from planet. They are managed, by Nigerians who don't take safety, as such. In our own parliament, whatever happens, we say, God. Don't worry, God is in charge and control. So we leave our responsibility, we put all on God. Now, in environment, times where they even prioritize, and they put these measures in place, they have since they need to most times, curtail. But in an environment where we don't have any, it appears we have been favored by nature. Those natural disasters are not prone to them. So we just links, with leave to nature, leave things to chance. Many of the government institutions don't have any fire extinguishers. So there's no fire will start with big break, a spark, a smoke. When you don't arrest them in good time, of course it will blossom to something. Just like any crisis, when issues are not addressed at the stage of issues, they would naturally snowball and dovetail to. So what you see there is not a failure of government, it's the failure of the people who think, safety has taken a backstage now, generally. Now, thank God they said it dropped or, the cases. If it doesn't affect the presidential election, case, how about many cases?
That it would affect.
Remember, they were having, it's not enough numbers. I think out of the 21 we should have, I think we are left with 11 or, how much is it, 11 or 12 or 10?
I'll confirm.
Yes, around that. So they have these few ones who have to sit on all the cases coming to the Supreme Court. Number one, we need more numbers there. So no matter what you have now in disruption, whether it's the presidential or any other case, for the matter, they are as important to those who are interested in those cases.
Yeah.
So what happens to them? So failure of institution, unfortunately, this will happen and we will slide rather than getting somebody responsible, because year in, year out, they budget money for many of these items. And you wonder, do they buy them? If they had any budget provision for such in the last 2-3 years, would they investigate and see if the Department of Works of that particular place, if they actually bought? If they didn't buy, who should be held responsible? Right. Now, would they even get to the root of this? That they did a quack job in their, electrical connections. What exactly happened? Would they be able to get somebody to bear the brunt? In a society where things happen and nobody, the consequences we all shared, that we usually don't hold people accountable for things like this. I give you another thing that is very common around that. In Nigeria today, any government official will impugn on you, will do whatever they want, knowing well that even if you go court and you get caught out against them, they are not the ones to, it's still the government that will pay. So we need to, again, start thinking, how do we think our laws to ensure that if you've shown some irresponsible, behaviors, you're able to bear, you should be paying for it. You can't transfer the consequence of your deliberate, terrible action to the government or to another to pay for you. You can't have headache, and I'm taking offense for you, because at the end of the day, it is not the government that's paying. Now, that award you got in court against the government official that the government is paying, it is your money. So you are still paying
for it, yeah.
It's like they're still paying. It is still you still for that. So not the government, because it's the government. Do they have money of them? It's our money they're managing for us. So until that person are paying you, I doubt if this guy will sit up. The reason you have SARS officials go out in those days, they do all manner of things against people. They are not sanctioned. Even when you caught and you win, the government is the one to pay. Not so. We must start people accountable. Not just that. Even in the who exactly ought to do a big job, who did not do. Now, can we ensure that that person,
gets it? Let's run for a quick break. We'll be back with more.
Canada, UK, Australia.
This is Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me, let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
They hear different stories because they don't want the poor masses to put eyes on what they are taking away, looting. All right, who is the day? Friday. Thank you so much for watching on our Facebook page at Nigeria Info Abuja. Chima Ndumewe, I see you, and I see those on our YouTube page also at Nigeria Info ABJ. You can share your thought, comment, reactions with us. I've got Kolawole Johnson with me here in the studio, and we said the first story talking about the fire out at the Supreme Court and looking at we as individuals, home offices need to take precautionary measures against fire outbreak and holding people responsible and accountable for negligence. Yes, I mean, Kolawole, that's what you were trying to pass across. People need to be held for certain things. You think that, certain establishment organizations should have certain things put in place. And if they go, off that, somebody should be held to account at the end of the day.
Of course, we should imbibe that culture. Unfortunately, when you have a leader who's maybe the person responsible is his kinsman or a very maybe favorite in the office, person of interest, they will glow over it. The rules are not applied, to everyone. And unfortunately, we have a very good attitude. Let me call it good in this country. When something is, when something favors us, we see it as good. Once it doesn't favor you, of course, we label it in a very terrible way. The same person would it was which on to, they drove me out to from the office. A student tried to exam and fail. He said, that lecturer failed me. Rather than saying that, I didn't do well. So it's our culture. Let's hope that we'll be able to get away from that.
Indeed. All right, talking about getting away from that, Dangote has tried to explain themselves and said claims making the round of reduction of the price of cement to 2,700 per 50 kilogram bag from 5,500 is false. Ani Chejine, spokesperson for Dangote, disclosed to the Daily Post today, described the claim as fake news. In a tense reply, his reaction comes amid speculation that Dangote Group crashed cement price by 50% effect from 1st October 2023. Earlier, Bashir Ahmed, media aide to former President Buhari, had commented that the report was fake. Ahmed made this known through his handle and that no such thing is being reduced. The price of 50k bag of cement is sold at 4,600 to 6,000 Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, which depends on where you are. However, about 2 weeks ago, Boa Cement entered at plan reduced the price of 50 kg bag of cement to between 3,000 to 3,005. The chairman, Samad Rabiu, disclosed this after meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, We haven't had anything formal about the reduction of the price of cement. Now, this is also tied to the story where the Cement Producers Association of Nigeria have warned that the ongoing plan of the federal government to introduce concrete roads would raise the price of cement to 9,000 naira per bag from the current price of 5,000. He also called on the current administration to permanently address the perennial cement price hike problem by facilitating larger participation in the cement industry, noting that Nigeria have no business buying cement for more than 5,600 naira per bag. The association, in a statement jointly signed by the national chairman, Prince David Iweta, and National Secretary Chief Regan Fomba on Sunday, commended the Works Minister's position on cement main road, but warned of dire consequences if the supply is not addressed properly. As a solution, cement producers urged the government to lay more emphasis on road design that allow for both the cement technology and pavement to run concurrently and provide ample time for smooth transition that allow contractors to invest in commensurate requisite equipment and retooling. We know that the Minister of Works repeatedly has said we're moving into the use of the cement technology and the concrete technology. There's been some resistance. We've even heard from political parties saying, nah, it won't work. Others are saying, no, we're comfortable. This is how we do it. But he's saying, I applied this when I was the state governor, and the roads seem to have a bit more longevity. But we can also discountenance what the cement producers are saying about that also. If we do not focus on how we can see more production ramped up to ensure that we do not have a shortfall of what is required in this instance. But do you think this is something about not carrying the cement producer along? Because it feels like for every new day, there's so much resistance to it. And says, under my watch, roads will last 50 years. You would think we want to key up behind him to seeing roads. I just came in from Kaduna. The journey is usually 2 hours. There are a lot of work going on. And now you travel 3 to 4 hours for a 2 hour trip based on degree of road. Today's zone was so difficult. When I was going, it was a nightmare. At one point, like, are we there yet? It was dragging more than 4 hours to get into Kaduna. So you would want roads that will last the test of time. That road is particularly problematic because they're always working, always diverting, and then the roads never last.
Well, I think you want to discuss this. You look at you're looking at quality of roads done, and you're looking at the role of demand and supply.
Okay.
Yes, that is what the cement producers are telling you. If supply outstrips demand in any market, definitely what you will have is that the price will go down because supplies are there.
Yeah.
You have it in surplus and demand is not there. It will suddenly bring, force price down. But when demand outstrips supply, what you have is income price. So definitely, the government is looking at the direction of cement road. What you have is more demand for cement, and that will affect the price. Simple economics. Are they right? Yes. But you get to some level, to some critical, stages that there is no solution you bring on board that will have its own side effect. That is why you have your SWOT analysis, table. That is why you have your scale of preference. That's why you have your opportunity cost. Put them there, and by the time you look through, you choose the very best option for you. Best option for you. I remember when we were causing insecurity then, those days. I gave an option. I don't know. I think it was your place. I can't remember, but I think discussed that in different places where at that point, we may as well just face those desert, those places, and wipe off. There were victims. There, of course, innocent people that we won't be able to. There's no way we'll be able to do, without casualties. That but we would have been able to solve this problem to a very large extent. Then we know where to focus on them. The ones in town, we can hunt them, together. That was still early. That if we fail to do that, by the time we'll be considering that option, we'll have much more persons with them that we may not be able to, make use of that option again. And that came to pass. Sometimes next year, when the former Cardinal State was talking about, in an area, that would have been good when we had option, but we didn't have option. And that goes to tell you that no matter, regardless of the solution you bring on board, this is real time. We're not discussing politics or anything. This is real time governance. We apply this in individual, stations daily. You have issues on the table, they have their side effects. You choose the one with the least side effect, then you go for it. in this case here, if based on our economic situation, based on the exigencies, based on the situation, analysis, if we've seen that going for that will be cheaper for us, will last longer, why not? But again, the fears are there that it will drive up price. And this time, it is the people that will bear the brunt. So we must again think that, okay, let us give this policy maybe 2 years gesticulation period where we're able to, the first year, move our policies, encourage more production. Or, because it's a lead market. You know, you can't, it's a free market. You can't force, yes. But there's always the unseen hand that can control. Oh, yes. Adam Smith, there's always the unseen hand that can control the market indirectly. That is why when you give a man a lot of the leverage you give a man in, import duty, you waive waivers, you give in tax holidays, all that. He will have a hold on the market to do much more. But we may not be able to apply those things down. We need the money, both the import, both the tax collection. We have gone on tax holiday for these big guys that we are just seeing them fine. They are getting richer while the countries get poorer. So we can't continue in that. Without it. But we still need to ensure that we take the best option for us. So I'm not in government to see the difference between the cost of cement or the roads I'll be done with, cement, with asphalt. But I've also known that if the areas are not waterlogged, you may be looking at cement per se. I don't think I have the technical knowledge to give the best advice on that. I was one of those, I loudly, openly advocated for Governor Dave Umahi to become the Minister of Works. No political thing, there, but simply, he's an engineer. He practiced. He practiced before, coming to the state. Going to the state, and he has done, go to the state and see the kind of infrastructure he put in place. When I was striking comparison some months back, before the election, I was pitching him against one other person to see the difference, what they did in office. The guy worked. So if he has tested out for 8 good years, and he thinks he works better, it wouldn't be his own decision alone. Now must take that, maybe stakeholders must be involved, so that we can really take a decision. And those stakeholders are already talking. So you don't focus on this side alone. We can design our roads in a way that it will have both the cement and the asphalt, if that is the best option. And I think they know what they're talking about. They won't just come to talk if they don't have fact. This is why we must encourage governance, not just with the business of some few folk in office, where the poor are carried along. You have stakeholders, you have professionals. You can't sit in office alone and you think for everybody. So I think the minister has the single opportunity not just to, liaise with the engineers in his ministry, in his own ministry, but bring also stakeholders from the different sectors, the cement manufacturers, the engineers to look at all of this options.
How we can achieve
bitumen in Ondo State. Now, if we are going for cement, I'll drive the price upward. Is it better for us to go for bitumen and see, to see how we can explore what we have here, invest in it, get investors once and for all to churn out this thing that will also reduce the, what we spend on the asphalt road. So let's look at all these options. God has blessed us with enough resources, to be able to think through and take the best option. So this is talking from what he has done before, but a single eye can't see all. So he may need to involve others, but I think I have confidence in his capacity to deliver based on what he has done in the past.
Based on it, and given the fact that we're seeing more works coming up and going on at this point in time, might be directly or indirectly to language and commitment to seeing it happen, but it's a good sign.
No, I'm aware, before they got there, the government took some decision to get some repairs done. So when you see FEMA on the road, it is not Ministry of Works per se. Those ones were not stopped. I think they did just resign last week or thereabouts. So you have work done by this agency, not necessarily the Ministry of Works. So I doubt if they have started working. He went on road inspection and spent like a week or thereabouts in the south, in the southern axis, I think.
Country,
So
yeah.
let's see what is bringing on board. But I think it will deliver. I don't know. One thing you will see in his own, you see capacity there that's meeting opportunity to deliver. And I doubt if he will not be given the required money to do what he needs to do. One thing we have faced before is a low budgetary provision for the ministry. I think we will be able to put more in that ministry to deliver. And this is one thing the people do again. The idea of when a person gets to government, whether you vote him or not, is holding our collective destiny. We shouldn't keep quiet. If a road is going on in your area and the contractor is not doing well, the same way shout about your representative, shout about the contractor. Honestly, that we don't do. We say,
in the defense of people calling constantly, talking about roads. They've even made inquiries as to why did the road stop.
Yes.
Well, I can speak for people, particularly in the FCT, always very proactive to saying, this road has lying dormant for a while. This work stopped here. These are the contractors in charge of the road. Is it money or what exactly is responsible for this? Even calling the authorities to it.
I'm also not against the people. So you say, in defense of the people. I'm not accusing the people, please. People have accused me so much. Kim, I beg and bill me. So I'm not accusing them. I'm just saying that we have that responsibility. And a lot of times, when people take those things on themselves to do, it is still people amongst us that will say, now your thing will be your own. People have told me past time, now your papa money. Oh, honestly, so what do you do? But unfortunately, maybe they are not aware that it's our collective destiny.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get good. I think a minister will do well. I believe of course, they should have.
But the need for him to bring everybody.
He needs to do that. He
doesn't have that ego to know everything at once.
No,
at this
it's
point in
impossible.
time. Because sometimes, if you do not listen to what these clusters of associations are saying, there could also be that deliberateness to frustrate. It can also be a strategy on its own.
Sabotage.
Okay, you do not want to listen to us talk about the cement asphalt situation.
Yeah.
Then before you know, artificial scarcity starts again, even when it shouldn't. In the first instant, people can use all kinds of strategies to get the attention of government in a particular direction.
In the strategy. See, the holders of the market, a lot of times they have a power, not just to frustrate, but to detect direction.
Yeah.
Because the market belongs to them. So what do you expect? In any case, I don't think these guys are coming from that angle. I think they are coming from the patriotic angle that the people will suffer because they want manufacturing. They want to sell and make profit. If you place more demand on this product, the price will go up. And this is normal with economics.
Yeah.
The price will go up. So don't just look at this again alone from your own angle. The people who suffer for this will pay more for cement. And this is very simple. When you have the lack of equilibrium where demand keys supply, you would always have that price differential fluctuation defect. It is either it goes up or it goes down. In this case, there's only one definite direction because there is more demand. And so the price will go up because the supply is not what it be. What they are saying is do some things to encourage more supply so that by the time you place the demand, it will not be so much again. The price will not go up. There is no way you can do it. There is no rocket science. You leave it at what it is today. We can again tell what will happen tomorrow. When you talk about them, these are the things I say. The indicators are always there for you to be able to predict what will happen next. They are saying that more demand will come. That means there will increase in price because the supply has changed. And until you change that, you can't escape the price differential. It will go up. And they are even need to drive to almost 100%, 9,000 naira. Don't forget, that will be the baseline price, maybe for areas like Lagos, Ogun, where they are manufacturing, where they're producing. Now, leave those areas to they call, extreme area in the country. It may maybe go as much as 10, 11,000 naira, even 12,000 naira, depending. So basically, I think we'll listen to them. Let's not even look at it the angle of they will be, they want to create some sabotage, around that. I think they are talking science, and I always agree with data. This is very simple,
All right then. Okay, it's the round. We want your input. You can call us up. We still have another story to look at, but let's get a few of your thoughts in. Call us up on 0700 951 0000. Piers Kent, I see you. Charles F. Young, Nigeria will start working when people get punished for wrong. Yes, thank you very much. Or you can call 0809 59 4869. Hello.
Hello, Kimberly.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, our guest, Kolawole Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
A popular voice and face from media fora. Abakar from Ogoleda.
Welcome.
High time our leaders, policy makers should get every policy to feasibility studies before implementation. Hello?
Well, listening.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Before you can bring a tarring road with concrete, you should subject to maybe a pilot state to runs. Not overnight a minister will come. I remember days of military when for local content, tourists were instructed to go for maize as a substitute for barley in their manufacturing. It led to the skyrocketing prices of maize for local consumption. So they have to make it possible that they should reduce or allow many manufacturers into the cement sector, so that it will be availability of cement, and it will make the price crash. For this current monopoly, when somebody enjoy waiver, he enjoy holiday, for the yet the price of cement is still at a higher. It's not acceptable. We have limestone deposit in many places in Nigeria, almost every state, and other components. For 90% of composition of cement production is available here in Nigeria. So they have to keep crash so that it will be available and close the gap of housing deficit.
All right. Thank you very much, Abubakar. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Kimberly.
Welcome. What's your name?
I'm calling you from Kujeria Council.
Welcome, Onyekachi.
Honestly, there's no how if a federal government decided to embark on concrete road area, it will definitely affect the price. The price will go up definitely, just like the guests in the studio say, it will get better. What I want to suggest, because the 215, they say they will stop the concession. I would like you to advise the federal government to bring their own from outside the country. Because if they import their own to do the roads, it will also better, and that will also help. I remember that the one product that we use them in this, because they stop them to come, is from female. They call it enhancement. So if they can bring such important, by shifting the thing for federal government, it will go a long way by making the price to stay one place instead of going higher. Thank you very much and have a celebration.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Joseph, I'm calling you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. Upon all the claims that we got born is the Supreme Court of Nigeria. I think we show that when certain things happen, we suspect some things. I don't think the fire is ordinary. But then that aside, the Honorable State and the road the former governor in Ebonyi State think is the best with the cement. Because the one that passed through my family house is a cement, and to pass it will not see any sign of potholes anywhere. So I think that's the best thing to use to control the road. But we also listen to the nation that are calling for any amendment, because when the price of fuel go up, all of us will feel it. We also listen and know how to amend it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. My name is Luke.
All right, Luke.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My concern is about the constructions within the city. I mean, outside the city.
Not like what your guest was talking about, even the contractors, we need to call them to order, possibly make a report also. Now, there is this road that links from down to Abuja. This construction has been going on for over 13 years, as the case may be. And up to today, all we're hearing is that the budget has been on the road. They are working on the road.
Sorry, is it the road that goes to
They are
Orozo?
about to commission the road.
Look, please.
He's asking if it's the road that goes
Is that
to
the same
Orozo.
road that goes through Orozo?
But I know it comes from Karisi down, from Karisi down to Apple.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
We have see. That's what we're saying. We fought on that road for some time, but when the government didn't do nothing, of course we cried.
Hello, Luke. Yeah. Okay. Luke,
That road is going to reduce traffic on the, this
significantly.
Apple,
Right.
Yes, it will cut a lot of journey down.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kimberly.
Welcome. What's your name?
Obanshi, calling from Central area here.
Go ahead, Banshee.
I want to comment on the cement. Nigerian leaders, we have not been fair to ourselves, to our citizens, and it's not good. How much Dangote is supplying cement to Ghana here? How much is a bag of cement comparing to their cities to Nigeria? How much? Is it more than 2,700? To Benin Republic, how Dangote is supplying cement to Benin Republic? Is it more than compared to their is it more than 2,500? What happened here? And they are stopping total not to bring cement here to hijack the price of cement. What have we done to politicians for this country? What have the citizens of this country done to politicians? Why? Why are we like this?
Right, Obanshi.
Togo, how much are they buying the cement for Togo? Is the same Dangote?
But have you gone to all these countries you mentioned and know for sure these prices you're talking about?
I'm not sure the price compared to the cities and the self for Benin Republic and Ghana here. Ask anybody to tell you.
All right, Obanshi, thank you very much. But, I know that this has been a long-standing argument by Nigeria to say if you compare, the value of what is placed on the bag of cement, 50 kg, and what in all these countries, neighboring countries, West African countries with Nigeria, that we pay a bit more. And I know that sometimes the statement put out by Dangote, trying to clarify when people are putting out all kinds of figures to saying this is what
was outside the country, right?
Yeah.
See, okay, you may just want to keep quiet on some things, not necessarily because you don't want to talk, but because if you talk, you may likely aggravate the emotions much more. See, coal production is not the same. You produce in this country. I also do some businesses, small. Produce here, you pay for electricity, you're generating electricity by yourself. Not you are buying this at a terrible rate, and the government is frustrating you with multiple taxes, and yet you will survive. You must break even. Business is not for father class. It is for we want to fit. And when take for example the aviation guys. They say Nigeria is the most expensive place because they come with a lot of taxes from kind of all manner of levies. So because of this, it has also increased what they also put back on us.
It becomes an incident tax on us. You have to pay more for it.
It is what you buy that you sell. So if, say, Dangote, of course, okay, remember a few months ago, May, when Dangote, when they went to open the refinery and they said it would dispense in July. Yeah. I was there, I told you, I said it's a lie. I said it's impossible that they went to do, their policy, so that it wasn't going to work. Because even test running alone will take you 3 good months. I told you that it won't work. That they cannot dispense earlier than September / October. Go and play the tape back. And you will come back to what I said. But some people criticize me on your shoulder. I know I'm this, I'm that time. I will not come back to that now. What you produce, what you sell, at times depends on the cost of production. Why is it that companies would leave the U.S. to go produce in China and import back to the U.S.?
Bangladesh, China,
yes,
and bring it
because
back.
It is easier to produce in those places. I call that we have massaged Dangote for too long. We have, he's got tax holidays, he's got imports, he's got waiver. So there are some things that he transfers to us that should not be. this news that he went to crash cement, that he crashed it to 2,700, I'm a PR person, can tell you that news did not come from the public space. It was an internal thing. It was simply board politics. Boa said it. He said officially that it's going about 3,000 something. He has done it. So they quickly wanted to, of course, keep the public because it will affect their own. Maybe they saw a tilt in the market. I know they are buying down. They are also doing their market research. Maybe because of what that man said, people are not trying to buy more from his own side. News drive the entire system. News drive the market. So they also need to just put their own so that you will not outspend them in the market. And they didn't come back to deny that since Friday when that thing has been circulating. If the former presidential spokesperson or somebody in that height had not talked about this, Dangote would not come out. They will wait for some days more before they come out. It's all game.
All right, then. Let's take a break for the news. At the top of the hour, we'll be back to talk some more. After the news, please stick around.
This is Hard Facts.
This